Sorry to get abruptly cut off there. Battery ran out. So he's tried to establish that there is this aspect of reality that is purely conceptual. It's the intelligible realm. That there are some things which are material and changeable and temporary, in time and mortal and go out of existence. And there are other things, if you want to call them things, which are conceptual and intellectual and that never change and are eternal. So the question is, with which part of ourselves do we know these unchanging, eternal, conceptual things? Well, with the soul, with the mind, with the intellect. So this argument is kind of an argument on the basis of kinship. That is, it's the soul that knows these things, and therefore it's the soul that is at least most like these things. So if these things, these intelligible objects, the concepts, the forms, if they are eternal and never change, and it's our souls or our intellect or our mind that puts us in touch with these things and is most like these things, then our soul too is at least probably like them, eternal, and we shouldn't worry about it going out of existence. So really this argument is an argument about reality. It's an argument about what is most real. For Phaedo, what is most real? If you can say most real, we'll talk more about reality and what it can be more or less real. But what has the firmest place in reality are intelligible, invisible, thinkable things. And it's the part of ourselves that knows these things which is most like them. Then it's most likely that that part of ourselves is also not compound, not made up of parts, and not subject to dissolution. So this is really an argument for the eternal nature of the soul. Now, he admits that it may at first glance seem that what is most real is certainly not what is invisible and only thinkable. That our bodies tend to make us think otherwise. I would say that Phaedo suggests that we have an almost instinctive belief in materialism. That is, an instinctive belief that it's material, physical things that are actually most real. For instance, on page 76, about a third of the way down the page, he says, when the feeling of pleasure or pain in the soul is most intense, and pleasure and pain come through the body, all of us naturally suppose that the object of this intense feeling, the object, whatever we're sensing, is then plainest and truest, but this is not the case. Very true. And this is the state in which the soul is most enthralled by the body. That is, the body, because of the intensity of our feelings that it gives us, it pulls us into the material world. It makes us think that the material world is it. That's reality. And what is physical, and what causes us pleasures and pains. When you're hungry, lunch seems really real, So that's one of the weaknesses of the body, according to Phaedo. Why? Because each pleasure and pain is a sort of nail, which nails and rivets the soul to the body and engrosses her and makes her believe that to be true, which the body affirms to be true. So here you're going to, in the sense in which Phaedo really believes, apparently, or Socrates really believes, that the body is the prison house of the soul. The body imprisons the soul, and it's only when the soul can separate from the body that she can truly be free. And from agreeing with the body and having the same delights, she is obliged to have the same habits and ways, and is not likely ever to be pure at her departure to the world below, but is always saturated with the body, so that she soon sinks into another body, and there germinates and grows, and has therefore no part in the communion of the divine and pure and simple. So the body pulls the soul down, nails it, rivets it through the senses, through feelings of pleasure and pain, to the material world, but it doesn't have to be. Philosophy is a way of liberating oneself from that. The lovers of knowledge he says on the bottom of page 75, are conscious that their souls, when philosophy receives them, are simply fastened and glued to their bodies. The soul is only able to view existence through the bars of a prison. So that takes us up to, I guess, the top of page 77. And Plato or Socrates believes that he's, I guess, adequately argued that the soul has both a pre-existence of the body and a post-existence. The pre-existence is proved through the theory of recollection. Knowledge is recollection. And the post-existence of the soul from the body is proved through a general argument that the soul is not the kind of thing, like material things would, not the kind of thing that will simply disperse and dissolve and die, that it's more like the conceptual, intellectual, intelligible things that are out of